Joe Bush.
And he's going to have a tall order against the new father, Joe Bush, who is celebrating that and trying to get back on the winning streak tonight. He is 6-0 coming into this fight. 4 of those wins by knockout. First time we've seen him since last February. So you're talking 13 long months when he beat Derek Whitley at Foxwoods Casino. So tonight, after signing with CES in 2024, trying to get another big victory. He's got 2 wins under CES's promotional guidance since signing a contract, and we'll see if that long layoff has any effect. He's fighting a very durable veteran of 29 pro fights, which can always be a factor. With that, we're going to send it up to Adam Palazzo for our official introductions.
The following bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with the red trim. He weighed in at 146.5 pounds. His pro record, 11 victories, 17 losses, with 6 victories coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Indianapolis, Indiana, ladies and gentlemen, Giovanni Babyface Guttierez. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks. He weighed in at 146.5 pounds. His pro record, 6 victories, 0 losses, with 4 victories coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Marshfield, Massachusetts, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Bush. The referee in charge of the action when the bell rings, Mr. Johnny Callis.
Bush, only 28 years of age, a long road ahead of him. He's trying to get back on track after taking 13 months off. Just welcomed a new child into the world, so obviously that takes some time, and it takes a lot out of your training and a lot out of your daily life, as you and I both know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's 6 kids between the 2 of us, I believe. Right. So we know a lot about that. We can certainly empathize with some of the sleepless nights you face as a father of a newborn. But Joe Bush is ready to get going and get back on the winning track. 6-0, as we mentioned, 4 of those wins by knockout. Now, Giovanni Guttierez, very tough customer. He always comes ready to go, and he's had a lot of tough luck in his last 12 or 15 fights or so. Most of those fights coming against undefeated opponents, and Bush, of course, no exception.
Yeah, Mike, Babyface Guttierez does come to fight. Last time we saw him was against Jade El Pazmino, I believe, at the Lowell Memorial. But he's fought the likes of Kino Luna, and the only time that he's been blown away against top opposition like that was Ashton Sylvie, who knocked him out in 1 round.
Gutierrez typically hangs tough and gives you a lot of work, and again, someone that's very unorthodox at times, knows all the inside boxing tricks and the dirty boxing secrets and the things that can frustrate an opponent.
And for a guy like Joe Bush, who's been off for a while, this is actually a pretty tough test.
I agree. I think it's a very appropriate test at this stage, and you've had some time off. No matter what your record is, you need some time to get the footwork back, get the timing back, and really just go in there and take a live punch to the face sometimes,
exactly.
and that can get you going. And Gutierrez so far hanging in and landing a couple of shots in the opening minute of this round and trying to get Bush, trying to get him active here.
Nice uppercut on the inside by Bush.
Gutierrez started his career really as a lightweight. He's coming up to welterweight in this fight, but he's fought a lot between 135 and 140, but has no problem taking fights a little bit heavier weights on shorter notice. Not always having the time to cut weight when you got to get on a plane and get somewhere in a hurry, and that's the benefit of being a flexible fighter like Gutierrez, who can fight at almost 3 different weight classes.
Yep.
Is it gives you a lot of opportunities to stay busy. And we mentioned again, that's 29 pro fights at 31 years of age. It's a lot of boxing in a short amount of time.
Oh, yeah, and you can see Joe Bush is trying to break him down on the inside here. They're fighting in a phone booth pretty much, and Joe is hitting him to the body, throwing some nice short uppercuts, seeing if he could break him down, which is going to be a tough task because this is a pretty durable opponent.
And Bush not smothering his punches either when he's on the inside, which has been impressive too. But Gutierrez landing a couple of shots here. He's coming to fight. And Bush doesn't look exceptionally fast for whatever reason tonight. Looks a little bit slower, and maybe that's just a timing issue and maybe shaking off some of the rust here. But he's been a little bit more of a stationary target than we've been used to, and it's allowed Guttierez to land a couple of shots. We'll see if that pace picks up. Maybe this is a case where Bush actually wants more rounds to get going and kind of get his feet wet.
Yeah, Joe Bush looks like he's in great shape, but to your point, I think he's a little bit slower. And really, in his first 4 fights, he was fighting kind of on the club circuit until he joined CES, and now he's fighting some step-up opposition that's really meant to develop him. So we'll see if he's able to pass this test, because that's what these tests are for, right? We got to see sink or swim. He's in against a guy who maybe is on a losing streak, but as you can see here, he's not afraid to throw punches back, and he did come to win. He's not going to just lay down for him.
You just don't have the room to do it, so you need to sneak in those quick little uppercuts, and that's where you gain your separation. That's where Bush can really excel.
Yes, definitely.
So here we go, round number 2 underway. Michael Parenti and Mariano Agami bringing you all the action from the North Shore Knockout, presented by CES Boxing on Boxing TV. Bush in the black trunks, Guttierez in the red and black. Guttierez trying to snap a 15-fight losing streak. All that have come against top quality opponents, 12 of them undefeated. This is someone who's been in against the best.
And you can see it, right? He's pretty elusive out there. Doesn't get hit clean too often. Kind of moves with the shots and tries to throw back. But to your point earlier, he is a smaller guy in there. He's been fighting maybe at a higher weight than he's normally than his natural weight.
And Bush starting to pick it up here. He's got Guttierez against the ropes. Guttierez now just trying to hang on and get a little distance, complaining about a shot to the back of the head. Johnny Callis not issuing any warning. Now Guttierez landed to the back of the head, and Callis is going to warn him about that. A little touch of the gloves, and we get right back to it. Under 2 minutes to go here in round 2.
Guess, Mike, sometimes you give somebody a receipt, right? And be like, look.
That's right. It's almost like in baseball, you get brushed back, and they'll let you get one. You know, they'll let you buzz the guy, but don't do it again.
Fighters missing widely so far in this round.
Good stiff jab there by Bush. He caught Guttierez in his tracks, but Guttierez just keeps coming forward. And again, I think when you are in the case of a Giovanni Guttierez who's going on the road a lot, you're facing everybody's undefeated prospect, you're probably facing a lot of similar styles.
Yeah.
I think he knows how to handle it. I think, like you said, Mariano, he knows all the tricks, knows what to do when he's in the ring against opponents like this. And sometimes you get overwhelmed, and Bush trying to overwhelm him here in round 2.
Yeah, Joe Bush is putting a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah.
Really trying to break him down.
And a lot of this in close action fighting can really just wear you down physically too. It's an exhausting style.
Yeah.
And when you're on the other end of it, getting pushed against the ropes, taking some left hands like Guttierez is now taking, it can get very exhausting in a short amount of time.
Yeah, and those shots look a little bit slow, as you mentioned, but they look heavy.
They do look heavy. They really do. He's got heavy hands, and maybe just sitting down on his punches more than anything else.
Yep.
Bush trying to deliver in front of his hometown fans, the Marshfield, Mass native, 28 years of age. Signed with CES in 2024. This is his 3rd fight under their promotional guidance. First 2 obviously were victories. Last one coming in February of 2025 against Derek Whitley. Very tough.
A tricky fighter.
Very tricky fighter.
Yeah.
That was probably the best win of his career. And there's the bell for round number 2. So another strong round for Bush. Guttierez keeps hanging in there. And I think in this case, really giving Bush the work that he needs, the work that he wants after having so much time off. And at the same time, it's just enough where you feel you're getting the work, but you feel confident you can win the fight. And that's kind of where Bush is right now at this point.
Yeah, it gets rid of the ring rust. It gets him in a fight against a guy who knows what he's doing out there, and I think sets him up well for the rest of the year, right? He's had a baby, took some time off, and now he's ready to focus on his career.
No question, you want to get in there and win, but you don't want to go in there after 13 months off and face a guy that goes down with one body shot in 25, 30 seconds. It's counterproductive. It's almost a case of wanting to get right back in the gym again and come back in 2 more weeks and fight. And in Bush's case here, he's going into the 3rd round against a very tough, durable opponent who's going to make him work and make him throw a lot of punches. And that's what you want to see. And I think if you're his head coach, Mark Aguero, as you see in the corner, former coach of the Boston Butchers of Team Boxing League, you want to see if he's got the cardio.
That's right.
Going into round 3, maybe round 4, maybe round 5, and see where he's at to determine what kind of step up you take in your next fight.
And Mike, speaking of the Boston Butchers, they make their season
That's
opener
right.
tomorrow.
Season opener tomorrow night at the Roadrunner in Boston, taking on Phoenix. Another season of action from the Boston Butchers of the Team Boxing League. And here we are, round 3 at the North Shore Knockout, the North Shore Music Theater in Beverly, Mass. And right now you're watching Joe Bush in the black trunks taking on Giovanni Guttierez in the black and red. Scheduled 6-round welterweight bout.
Guttierez doing a little bit of showboating there. Maybe a ploy to waste a little time, right? Catch his breath a little bit.
I think one thing you say about Guttierez is he likes to fight, likes to get in there and scrap. I mean, you don't lose this many fights in a row and keep going if you don't love it.
Yeah. It's a tough career, for sure.
But he's made a pretty good career out of it, being durable, being ready, being flexible to fight at 3, sometimes even 4 different weight classes if he has to, and he goes in there and he gives it everything, and he's tough.
Yeah. And Joe Bush doing a good job of keeping every shot short. If you look, he's keeping everything very short, kind of a little bit in that Mexican style, right? You
Yes.
remember like Julio Cesar Chavez used to do things like that. Gennady Golovkin does stuff like that. Not that I'm comparing Joe Bush at all to those two guys, but he is trying to keep those punches short, sometimes comes over the top.
No, stylistically it makes sense. He's not someone that's going to throw wide looping shots like we saw in the last fight. His punches are very methodical, but they're compact, and he does. He sits down on those punches and brings a lot of power to the table.
And you can see that when Guttierez throws back, he can hit Joe Bush. He's there to be hit. The question is, can he hurt Joe Bush? And I'm not sure if he can, given his size.
Well, and that's the thing. You know, Guttierez is a smaller fighter. He's really more of a natural 135-pounder, 140-pounder coming up in weight. Only 6 knockouts out of his 11 victories, so he's not a big power puncher. And now Bush really starting to pour it on here. Hooks to the body, uppercuts. Guttierez gets off the ropes here. 50 seconds to go in round 3.
So those short shots, they're taking their toll on him. And this is a very durable guy. Like I said, went 6 rounds with J. Del Pazmino, who tried his best to get him out of there, couldn't.
I think it's important to mention, too, as a trainer for somebody like Joe Bush, a Mark Aguero who carefully works in tune with this fighter to decide who they're going to fight, when they're going to fight. You're facing a guy who comes in and is durable and is not going to make your fighter look bad. And that's the most important thing. He's coming here to work. Guttierez, as you mentioned, went 6 rounds with J. Del Pazmino, who's been knocking everybody out in New England. And he's hanging in tough here through 3 rounds against Joe Bush. Bush, however, looks sharp. And as you mentioned, Mariano, he's fighting close. He's not trying to circle, backpedal, or even go through any real feeling out process. It's been all action as Bush just continues to walk down Guttierez
Don't forget,
and pile up points.
Count of 2 title fights coming up.
There's a quick look there at the action. We thank you for joining us once again here tonight on Boxing TV. Michael Parenti and Mariano Agmi. And right after this, we've got our co-main event for the vacant NABF Women's Lightweight Championship, so don't go anywhere. And, of course, our main event tonight, NABF middleweight champion Francis Hogan putting his belt and his unbeaten record on the line against Patrick Alati. That's going to be a real exciting fight. But right now we're halfway through Joe Bush versus Giovanni Guttierez. Or maybe not. Looks like I see more gloves being unwrapped here, and I think that's going to be all she wrote. And it looks like Gutierrez's corner, I think most likely has thrown in the towel after 3 rounds.
And Mike, he was taking a lot of punishment there. Like we were saying, those were some heavy shots. They were in close. He absorbed a lot of that before it looks like he decided to call it a night. Sometimes that's the smartest thing to do before an injury, right?
So Joe Bush gets the work in. He gets the victory. After 3 rounds, the stoppage. Gutierrez's corner decides not to come out for round number 4, and we get another victory in the books for Joe Bush.
Fans, your winner by TKO at the end of round number 3, and still undefeated, Joe Bush.
All right, Beverly, Massachusetts here with Joe Bush. Joe took a little bit of time off, got back in here, got a win. Where's the smile?
Nothing to celebrate yet. Just more work to do. I'm not celebrating anything. That was a win. Could have been a better win, but I'm just happy I got in here and fought.
Well, we're going to talk about what we are going to celebrate is these shorts that are on here. So tell everybody about what's going on with these shorts.
Oh, I got the family on them. We got Teo, Scarlett, my girl Cindy in the back, Eric Goff, the best guy in the shorts business right here who made them for me, along with the vest.
So this is the first time you've bought since you had your second child.
Correct.
How was training camp with that?
It was, it was as it should be. I mean, my partner at home, Cindy, she holds it down. She lets me get all the training in that I need. So hats off to Cindy for letting all this happen too, If it wasn't for her, I could not put the hours I put in the gym without her helping me out.
I know you want to thank your corners and everyone else that came out here, but we're going to end on that one, thanking her, the real MVP, the one that got you in the ring here to do what you had to do.
That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Joe Bush.
Once again, Joe Bush gets the victory, third round TKO. He improves to 7-0. That's his 5th win by knockout and a great homecoming after 13 months off. And hey, we got more to come. Don't go anywhere. Boxing TV about to bring you our co-main event for the NABF Women's Lightweight Championship. Stay with us for more.